Hello, everyone out there. Another episode of Toxic Sarcasm Podcast. We wanted to jump on real quick, just do a quick video. Got myself D here, and of course, Rockstar down there. I'm liking that neon back there. It's looking
You like
good.
that?
It's looking good.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. So I wanted to address. So everyone out there that doesn't know Rockstar as well as I do, he's very passionate about his beliefs, which we all should be. You know, if you don't stand up for something, you fall for everything, right?
Yes.
So he got into a little snafu with someone over the internet a couple days ago, and we just wanted to touch base on that real quick. Not spending too much time on it. It's something that's kind of off top of what we normally talk about, but I think it was definitely something we should touch on.
It touched a nerve.
Yeah. So, I mean, it looks like it touched a nerve for quite a few people.
Yeah. Several thousand views came about it.
So I'll brush on it real quick, and then you add in what kind of happened. So Rockstar placed a video on TikTok, and he was just kind of explaining how he felt about illegal, undocumented.
No, not undocumented. Illegal aliens coming through the border.
So illegal aliens coming.
Make sure we have that straight.
Yeah, some people like to say undocumented workers. I don't know. I don't know the terminology. You always hear on the news illegal aliens, and when you hear illegal alien, you think, well, they're illegal. We probably don't want those people here. So that's what I think Rockstar was touching on, is he would not want illegal aliens to come in. And tell me if I'm wrong, you're referring to people that are criminals, murderers, kidnappers.
Well, yeah. Well, anybody that crosses the border without going through the process the right way. I mean, you can't just come through our border, because they are finding, people on the terrorist watch list. They're finding people that are bringing all these drugs through that are killing all our youth. They're finding people that are just coming through. And what do we do with them? Do they just come through and sit on our streets and be homeless? I mean, you can't just come here to come here. You have to do it the right way and the legal way. And that's the difference between an illegal alien and an undocumented person. Is an undocumented person, they still come through the legal way, but there's a process where they're still registered. They pay taxes, they pay their dues, and they have a way to make a living. Illegal aliens are coming through with nothing.
Okay. So, yeah. And the way that they portrayed it, I'm pretty sure TikTok took your video down because it was offensive, right?
Yeah.
So the Rockstar was very passionate about what he said, and I think it like he said, touched a nerve, might have offended a few people, and you maybe could have worded it a little differently, but you said what you said, and it's over. So, if people are going to get offended by it, so be it. What are you going to do? It's out there. Well, TikTok took it down. I'm sure somebody has it. But the gentleman that got into it with you, that actually, I think he stitched you in his TikTok on his channel. Apparently, you had a nice long conversation with him.
Yeah, almost 2.5 hours.
And apparently he is an undocumented immigrant, he said.
He's an undocumented immigrant, which he came through, and you found out the information where Obama had done some kind of
DACA. So I guess I guess his parents, he came over when he was a child with his parents.
That's the thing. On the video, he told me he came over and got through DACA as an undocumented worker. Well, how do you come out? And then he also, getting into it further, but not too far, he said, well, most people in America are from wealth or have things that make them who they are to be rich. Well, that's another story, but he's telling me he came over and as an undocumented worker, but then he has on his video that his parents brought him over. That's not coming over as an undocumented worker. So you either had help from your parents, which you're discriminating against us for having us Americans be having help, but your parents are bringing you over. So which one is it?
Yeah, so I think he came over with his parents, and since the DACA law passed and everything, you had the opportunity. If you were brought over here by your parents and considered undocumented, when they put together that bill, you had the opportunity to get citizenship and a driver's license and all this stuff. I don't know the whole ins and outs of it, but I believe that's what he's referring to.
Yeah, but when you come over with your parents, usually aren't you usually like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years
I would
old?
assume he was
do you have
probably
to come over
young.
your parents at 20, 30, 40 years old?
Right, but I think this included children that got brought over. It was to include all of these children in that policy. But you guys did a 2.5-hour conversation about this. I'm not a big politics guy. I'm all about the dating, and he made a comment. He even went further to touch on our videos. And I wanted to touch on that because, he was going on about discrimination and saying offensive things and whatnot. So I just wanted to play a quick video of his real quick, just to touch base.
See that.
And let's just, we'll see what he says here, and then we'll go over it. So let me go ahead and share this here. Okay. Can you see that there? TikTok video. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick, and we'll see what he has to say.
I went through your YouTube channel, bro. I see the content that you and your little homie make. Okay, I don't want to discuss whether or not modern women deserve to be respected or whatever misogynistic bullshit you make. I just want to address the comments that you made about how you're gonna bury undocumented immigrants. I don't even care about the Biden comment. I don't even like Biden. I just want to talk about your sentiments about undocumented immigrants, specifically also how you said how you can't say what you really wanted to say. Tell it to me. Tell it to me on your little podcast to my face. What is it that you really wanted to say? How are you going to bury us in a hole? That's all. If you want to have this conversation on your little show today on Saturday, that's fine. I'm on.
Okay, so you had the conversation with him.
Yes.
Yeah. So
conversation. But first of all, I never said undocumented workers. I said illegal aliens. That's two totally different things, two totally different types of people.
Right. I think he's hung up on that, and that you wanted to bury, illegal aliens. And I think somehow it sounds like.
And you know what? I'll be straight up with you. If I was a resident on the border and these illegal aliens were coming across onto my land, you can bet your ass you'd have a bullet in it. So
I've heard that from a lot of people on the border. Texas, I've got some people in Texas I know and stuff. And, their fear, like I'll give you one example. I've got a friend in Texas.
They're breaking into houses.
He has a daughter. He has a younger daughter. And he hears about all of the grape that a lot of these illegal aliens have done. And he fears that. Now, a lot of people say, oh, well, you've only seen it on the news. You only know what you have on the news. Well, when you're there and you're actually experiencing it, it's a little different. Your fear actually becomes real. It's not just propaganda and whatnot.
And it's not like they can just bring out a camera and start video recording of your daughter or your wife getting graped.
Right. So, I mean, I totally understand, that's the thing. I don't really, like I said, I'm not a big politics person, and the video I watched, pretty much all of it between you guys, and it seemed like it was just going in circles. Like there was
in the monoganistic, it's like where, tell me one video, and anybody
yeah.
else
So
out there can look at them. Tell me one video where we've ever disgraded or talked bad about a woman, and not, we've always said that it's not one-sided. It goes
yes,
both ways. We're looking at facts, ladies and gentlemen. We're not making this up. We're looking at facts, and like Dee said, these facts come from some of these social medias and go ahead and explain it. I mean, you know more about it than I do, but where do these facts come from?
so yeah, well, that's one major thing I wanted to touch on when he said in that video was he did not want to be a part of our misogynistic podcast. So I don't know if he knows the definition of misogynistic.
I
So
don't think he does.
in a nutshell, the content, the definition of that says it's the hatred of women. So he's basically saying just by seeing a few videos that we hate women. I don't know about you, but
Absolutely negative.
do you hate women?
I do not hate women.
I
at all.
love women.
I love women. I love all women.
Now, you'll see in our podcast, it's an open-ended dialogue. We ask questions. Do you think women should be treated well? Do you think it's an
And
open-ended?
maybe we should have clarified, how well do you think women should be treated depending on how they're portraying themselves? Because like we said earlier, you got all these women out there that are saying, that send me messages and texts and all this stuff. Hey, I'm available for hookup. Well, how should I treat that woman? To me,
so a lot of
first all,
women,
she's not a woman.
a lot of modern women are very promiscuous. And I think maybe in his, I don't think he's probably experienced any of that. I've seen some of, he's all about it seems like probably the woke culture with the using the
He
pronouns.
just hasn't found out his woman's cheated on him yet.
Could be. It could be. And I think it takes a lot of people to swallow that red pill once they go down that route and they've been cheated on or abused or, anything.
He's gullible.
It could be male or female. Yeah.
I think he's gullible. I think he thinks everything's perfect in his life. And I don't think he has, I don't think he's entered into reality yet.
Yeah.
Like you said, he hasn't,
I think he's still stuck in the matrix. He hasn't taken that proverbial red pill. He's still the, the blue pill, as they say.
The blue pill guy.
Yeah. I don't
He
want to
thinks everything's a perfect life, but
yeah,
it's time.
I don't
open
want to
your
give
eyes and
this
wake up.
a lot of attention.
Yeah, no.
My whole thing is that if you go and make an accusation about somebody that you're a misogynist, I mean, I take that as a very serious thing. So you're going out on the internet and saying that we hate women. So, that's a serious thing. That's almost like going and saying somebody's a woman beater or domestic. And I just find it kind of ironic that he was, speaking with you about discrimination and offending people. Yet he
and everything he said was nothing that I said in my videos. He's taking words and putting them into his mouth of something I never even actually said.
Yeah, a lot of people like to take things out of context just to kind of get that spark factor, that awe and shock. But yeah, I mean, politics. Everyone has their own opinion. That's what's great about this country, freedom of speech. We have all that
country. And here's the thing too. If you don't like the way this country runs, then don't run to it. Run away from it, because you're more than welcome to leave just as fast as you got here. So don't complain about the way our country lives when you're running away from a country that you're trying to get out of.
I think some people do. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big politics person. I don't like.
And I never used to be either. And I hate talking about politics. I wish it would go back to where everybody just went and voted and everything was silent. You went, you voted, you went home, and you went on with your life.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? There's just so many, my friend groups and stuff like that. I'll tell them when we hang out, we're not talking about politics,
Yeah.
We're
Right.
going out to have a drink, or we're at a cookout or whatever. We all have an agreement. We're not doing politics, because
Right.
you always have that one or two people that don't agree,
Mhm.
and they're not open-minded. They're not willing to say, okay, well, maybe you have this correct, and then maybe I have this correct, or
No, you're wrong and I'm right. kind of thing.
yes. And that is the kind of conversations you cannot have.
Right.
If you got somebody that's so stuck in their ways and they're not going to be open to anything.
Well, and here's a quick
dead
thing
end.
too. Everybody says, well, you only watch this news station and I watch. Well, how about I tell you, I watch all news stations,
Right.
and I try to get information from every news station, but don't tell me I'm wrong when you only watch one news station.
Yes. Yeah. But my main thing is like I said, he watched a few videos, maybe even one. And he says that I don't want to be part of you guys disrespecting women, if women should be respected.
We've never disrespected any woman on our program.
You know what? I absolutely love women. I could bring on people that I've been with, people that I still talk to,
Absolutely.
and they'll tell you they were not disrespected.
Never disrespected.
And
whether it didn't work out or not, I've never disrespected them. We went on our own way. And
right. Have we been disrespected? Yeah, I'm sure.
It goes both. And here we go again. It goes both ways. How do you feel as a guy when you get a text saying, I'm here for a hookup? Are you not disrespecting a guy by saying that?
Well, I
saying
think if
that
most
they're
guys-
just basically a do boy or a do thing or whatever you want to call it.
I think if most guys got that text, hey, you want to
They'd probably be happy.
They'd probably be pretty happy.
They'd be like, okay,
yeah,
sure, no problem.
Because how many guys aren't getting those kind of texts. I think I gotta. So we're gonna
I think I've burned out a 2 gigabyte hard drive on those already in the last 2 months.
They said that the young men now are not having sex, like below the age
because
of 30.
There's no women out there that want. I mean, unless you're going to pay for it, these young guys don't have $200-300 to pay for a woman, a chick. They're not women to me; they're chicks. But these young 18, 19, 20-year-old guys, that's what they make in a week when they're working.
Yeah, and
who's going to spend $200-300 on a chick, and when they're all this, I swear, all of them are that way now. I just saw a video today. This girl said she's been in a relationship. I can't believe she's been in a relationship for 13 years.
Wow.
She's like, I've been in a relationship for 13 years. My guy just left me. He's been cheating on me all this time. And she goes, what is it? She goes, I want to ask a question. What is it like to be a hoe? And I said, girl, I messaged her. I said, girl, don't become a hoe. Don't become like most of these girls out there.
Garden tool.
Yeah. Don't become a garden tool. Don't become like the rest of these girls out here. There's nothing wrong. She goes, should I be a MILF this summer? And I said, there's nothing wrong with dating and having a good time.
Right.
But don't become a garden tool and turn yourself into like the majority of the women out here today.
Yes, and I'll give you a fun fact.
Respect your body, respect yourself.
Yes, and I'll give you a caveat on that tail end. So they've actually done surveys and they found that it is harder for a woman to pair bond or be in a long-term relationship the more bodies that she has.
Yeah. And we talked about that on one of the last podcasts where we said, what kind of guy is going to want you after they've seen all these videos of you
Yes.
with, oh, I'm here for hookup. Oh, I'm here.
So real quick,
Who's going to respect you?
we have we'll end this up here soon.
Yep.
We've got some other shows coming up about well, here's one actually. We have a show coming up about what men are doing wrong. So to all you haters out there that think we're bashing women,
we love you haters.
yeah, you're gonna have to take a look at our show about men as well, because it takes two in everything. So if you guys want to hate, that's great. Hate is great.
Hate is great.
We love it. But yeah, so real quick on that, they've seen that it's like after I think 5 or 7 partners a woman's had, it starts going down, her percentage of actually having a long-term relationship.
Now let's make this clear. Are these facts?
These are facts. These are statistics.
Or is this something we're making? Because we don't want
no. I'm actually gonna
think we're making this up and bashing women.
I'm gonna bring these on. Actually, I have I'm in the talks with somebody. I'll go over this with you, but I'm in the talks with somebody about doing a show on sex. So it's gonna be well, we'll go. I'll talk to you more.
Well, and then we've got possibly part 2 and 3 coming up of would you date a single mom?
Yes, we've also got some more stuff. We've got actually a whole list of stuff I have here of guests and shows. So, but yes, we are going to have one on men as well. So we're not misogynistic.
We are definitely not misogynistic, Maverick.
Yeah. So
or whatever the hell your Mexican name is.
Yeah. So it was Mexican Metaverse.
Mexican Maverick Metaverse.
It was probably on his TikTok there. You could probably see it. So you guys, we're not saying, I don't really know the guy and he doesn't really know us. We both only seen him from videos. Rockstar did have a long conversation with him, so he got a better feel of who he is.
And we're going to throw some clips out there for you. It was like he said, like D said, it was a 2.5 hour, 2.5 hour show. But
yeah, we might be able to
throw some clips out for you.
Some good clips from it. We don't want to bore you guys with 2.5 hours, so we could pull some stuff for it. We know everyone's attention span out there is, like 30 seconds now. So we'll get something short to throw up for you guys for sure. Cause there was some nice.
We just wanted to give you a quick overview of it, and again, we're not going to keep you long, so we just want to give you a quick overview of what's going on, and to justify ourselves and give you all an explanation about what's to come.
Yeah, from a lot of people that have seen things, we just wanted to clear up, if we don't hate women, we are usually very respectful to people unless they don't respect us first.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah, and we are not racist. I don't think people like criminals. Maybe is it racist to not like criminals now? Is that a thing?
Well, I mean, unless you like getting shot or killed or beat up.
Yeah,
and you might be racist, but
like I said,
I don't think you can really be racist about not liking criminals. I don't think anybody really likes.
Well, geez, nowadays, if you don't,
that's true.
Everyone's offended about everything. Yeah, and I mean, I just can't. I'm waiting for the day that somebody tries to say that I discriminate, because I mean,
against murderers or criminals.
I just can't. No, I have not a discriminatory bone in my body. And I just can't. But so, if you people want to hate, say whatever you want about us. That's great. Keep,
and deep, real quick, you and I both, I grew up where you're from, and we hang around a lot of the people. We both have a lot of black friends.
Well, how a person,
a lot of white friends.
How a person, if they're racist, they say, I have a lot of black friends.
That means racist? What am I supposed to say? African American?
You're just supposed to say I have a lot of friends.
Well, but then people wouldn't understand it like Maverick, Goose, what's Mexican or whatever his name is. You know, we hang around with everybody. We don't discriminate.
Well, like I said,
we have friends from all different ethnicities. How about that?
There you go. And I think that's a big thing, a big problem with the internet is they only see what they're seeing in the videos. And a lot of stuff that people portray when they get on podcasts and stuff like that, a lot of it's satire or a lot of it's, you know, blown out of proportion. A lot of it's for entertainment.
People like to assume. That's what I always tell everybody that's ever worked for me or everybody that's ever hung around. Never assume.
That's right.
Until you find out the facts.
That's right. When they say assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So anyways, we'll wrap this up. We just wanted to touch base on it, you know, because Rockstar was getting a boatload of hate comments. And you know, it's crazy real quick. We'll finish this out, but it's crazy how most of these people and Metaverse Mexican and whatnot, we're talking about not offending people and, you know, not doing hateful things and whatnot. But then all of these comments, I've seen some of the comments you were getting were very hateful
about my family, about my parents, about
very offensive and very hateful.
Let me tell you what, folks, you can say whatever you want to me, but when you bring my family into it, then you take it to a whole nother ball game.
Right.
So say whatever you want to me. I love the haters. I love it. It's attention. And that's it.
That's it. So we love you, women. We absolutely love you. And we're going to have some more women coming up here. I've got a few things under my sleeve. So we love you all, actually. And if you think we're
we love everybody.
Yeah. If you think we're disrespectful, come on in and tell us. We want to hear about it. You think we're misogynistic? Love to hear why. I'd actually love to hear if you know the definition.
They talk a lot on messages, but they sure don't have the guts to come in on our show and say it to us.
I've got a lot of people like I was telling
you call them typewriter
keyboard warriors.
Keyboard warriors. All you keyboard warriors out there, keep your fingers off the keyboard or get on video.
Oh, you know what? Let's touch real quick. My experience. I know you had yours, and I had my little experience going out talking to people. I was just trying to educate a few people on things and ask if they wanted to be on our podcast. So I won't go too deep into this, but there was a gentleman that got offended because his girlfriend, fiance or whatever, she actually invited me to sit with them and, you know, have drinks with them. And so he got offended about it. So I said, let's go outside. You know, let's take it out. I know the people here at this establishment. I respect them. So let's take this outside. I thought we were ready to go at it. He sits down and hands me a cigarette, wants to have a conversation. So I started trying to educate him on things. And I said, hey, you know what? Maybe prenup should be a thing, you know? So I was just kind of giving them information on 80% of divorces are initiated by women.
These are facts, ladies and gentlemen. This isn't something we made up.
Right. The divorce rate now is 50 to 60%. And it seems like it's just going higher and higher. And that when couples get together before the age of 30, the chances of them breaking up is about 80 to 90%. So they were in that age range. I think they were, you know, late 20s, maybe 30 of that. I know she was in her 20s because I only talk to girls in their 20s. But I asked him, like,
antagonistic.
I gave him this misogynist. So I gave him the statistics, right? And his demeanor like changed at that point. And I says, well, aren't you, you know, I've seen some red flags, you know, you should check out our podcast sometime. We talk about certain things and would love to have you on if you guys wanted to come on and talk about your relationship. And he was not on it. He says your podcast is not something that interests me. And it seemed like he was offended when I gave him the statistics And I says, well, don't you think you should get a prenup? His response was, I don't have anything. Neither one of us have anything. So I wouldn't have to worry about her taking anything if we got divorced. I said, what? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So I said, let me ask you this. Are you guys going to get a house together, an apartment, whatever? Well, yeah, duh. I says, okay, well, when you move in there, you're probably going to furnish this, domicile with, furniture and pictures on the wall or whatever. And he says, well, yeah, of course. I said, yeah, get a nice big screen TV, maybe a game system and stuff. He's like, yeah, of course. I says, well, you know who's going to get that when you get divorced? Her.
Yeah.
Dude, he was just, like I said.
Well, and like I told you, I think he was so against it because he knows you're right and he didn't want to hear it. And now after
yes,
they both those girls gave you their number, those
so I got into it with another one
going home and gonna have an argument about. He's going home to have an argument about. I bet you, I damn guarantee you, they went home, had an argument about it, and now he's thinking about getting a prenup, and now they're probably both thinking about breaking up and not living with each other.
Well, let's hope so. That would be his best bet. I mean, I was trying to save the guy. I told him, I said, myself, friends, everybody.
Woman, maybe we don't want to be one-sided, or maybe the woman, because the guy, now that he has this information, could say, well, maybe I should do this and then try and take everything from her. But normally
that's normally, yeah.
Reverse.
God, I think, God, the number's huge. It's in the 80s, probably close to 90s. The women usually win.
Well, it depends on what kind of jobs they have. What is she doing and what's he doing?
Yeah. So, I see some celebrities. There was just a celebrity that she made more than her guys. She actually has to pay him child support and alimony.
Good for him.
One of those, Kelly Clarkson. I think it was her.
Oh, really? She's got to pay him?
Yeah, look it up. I just seen a headline. Absolutely, dude. It was a win.
Good for
win
him.
For men. I'll tell you, dude. I think men are starting to win now. The Johnny Depp thing.
Yep.
You got the Kelly Clarkson thing now. I think maybe we're starting to get recognition and respect.
It's not always the guy's fault.
Exactly.
And it's just always been, because the woman is feminine. It's we always have to side with them because they're less masculine or abusive or strong or whatever it may be, and the man is always the dominator. No, ladies and gentlemen,
right? And
women can do it just to men the way men do it to women.
Yes.
So it's about time that men start getting their recognition and start getting what they deserve for this stuff.
Absolutely. And what you just said, a lot of this stuff of the women abuse and women taking advantage of men, a lot of that stuff's not brought to light. So we are trying to do that in our podcast. Yes. And if some of the videos look like they may be directed towards women at times, it's because a lot of this stuff is not brought into light.
Right.
I can't tell you how many guys I know that have been accused of doing something or have had to serve jail time and there was no evidence, just word of mouth or hearsay.
You want to know why I think one of the reasons is?
Why is that?
Because of all the video cameras now. People have video cameras in their house.
Yeah.
People have video cameras all over their front of their house, the back, around their house.
Right.
And people are bringing these videos in, and it's showing that it's not just the men.
Absolutely. And men, you need to protect yourself. If you ever have an abusive woman, I mean, I've had a few women slap me in the face, but lucky I was able to have witnesses of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, she tried to pull this one instance. She tried to pull, if you call the cops, I'm going to tell them that you hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And lucky, like I said, I had witnesses there, but you get women like that.
I have videos too. I just showed my parents a recording of one I took a while back. And after telling them all this stuff of this is what was happening, that was what's happening, I said, you know what? I want you to hear this.
Mm-hmm.
Their jaw hit the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I'm going to say.
Men, you have to record these interactions with women. One, for your safety, and two, so you don't get rung up in jail, thrown in prison for something stupid.
But that's a whole nother story. Let's take that into another story.
A whole nother story for sure. Yeah, we can talk all day.
Majestic Magnitude Mexican on here, or whatever his name is, if we can. So
you know what? Like I said, I'm not a big politics guy, but anytime you want to come on, Metaverse Mexican, I believe it was. Anytime you want to come on, we'd be more than happy to actually, have a debate with you. If you wanted to be open about things, maybe if you and your wife wanted to come on and explain to us, if you think that we're disrespectful or misogynistic,
tell us why.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. But
do your research on all our videos, and you bring it to us and tell us why, or show us why.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I think you really need to back that up, that you think we're misogynistic, because that's a pretty big claim. That's a pretty big claim. And quite frankly, I'm offended.
I'm offended as well. You don't say stuff like that when you don't have proof. You can't just go on. That's exactly what we were talking before. You can't go on and claim grape and then not have video or some backup. So bring your backup. You want to claim something like that, bring it on our show and let's talk about it.
Yeah, or don't. Whatever. We don't care. We've got stuff going on. We will always love you haters, though.
Yeah, but we don't have chores to do or errands to run. We have people that do that for us.
Yeah, well, they do a lot of things, but we don't want to get thrown into. We're going to be called slave owners next.
Oh, there we go. Shit, there we go.
All right, everyone, we're going to get out of here. We've got other things to do, but we love everyone. We hope to hear from you. And we'll have some. We
love all nationalities. We welcome every woman, man,
just
color, shape, size on our podcast.
There's only two sexes, just woman and man.
Woman and man.
Right. Like, follow, subscribe. Hit that subscription button. And we got a lot of more great content coming for you guys. And we'll talk to you soon. Peace.